Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show for Fairview on Friday the 30th of May, as we bring in the end of May. And of course, it is Friday's racing that we all look forward to. And nice that the operators put on a sweetener for this Friday race meeting, 100,000 Rand carryover to Jackpot 1. So that bet will be very popular amongst racing fans, and I trust that you, the valued racing fan, as well. Looking forward to this preview show with none other than Grand Paddock. There is a feature, which is the Lady Slipper. It's a listed race that's part of the race meeting. And if you want to know what time things get off, well, 12:25, and there are 8 races on the go. So Grand Paddock waiting patiently on the line. And Grant, I trust that you're well. And a really nice race meeting with that 100,000 Rand carryover to the jackpot for Friday.
Yeah, morning D's, morning punters. Yeah, lovely card, not too easy. One or two difficult races, but we're going to have to get through that. Weather's been top class. Racing should be on the grass tomorrow. And yeah, weather's been good. Can't complain with the weather, D's.
Okay, let's get straight into it. Race number 1 that will kick off the bar pot. You need to get on the tote by 12:25. And this is a maiden juvenile plate. And this is how the betting looks, Grant. Number 2, Supreme Judge, is at 12-10. Number 2, Zambezi Sunset, is at even money. And number 5, Atlantic Pearl, is at 4-1. I just want to say that I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Peter Moore, who's the owner of Zambezi Sunset, for the first time last week. He actually had to introduce himself to me because I couldn't put face to name. A wonderful gentleman, Grant, and he's a big supporter of Alan Creef down in the Eastern Cape, and he's got some lovely horses as well. A big supporter of racing in Gqeberha.
Yeah, 100%. Mr. Moore has got a lot of good horses with Alan. Has got a couple with Kelly. Had a winner with Kelly Mitchley last week. So yeah, supports the Eastern Cape very well, and thank you very much to him as well.
Okay, what are we doing here in leg 1 of the bar pot? Do you know anything of these first timers? I see Zambezi Sunset is at even money ahead of the race runner number 2 at 12-10.
Yeah, D's, listen, Zambezi Sunset, no talk on the ground. I see there has been a bit of money from 12-10. I see 9-10. Supreme Judge has got the form, got the experience, and I'm a big believer in experience when it comes to juveniles. I think he'll take quite a bit of beating. You've got to respect Zambezi Sunset, very well-bred horse for Mr. Moore, Alan Creef and Richard Fourie. And then you have the first-timers, no talk on the ground at all for the first-timers. Atlantic Pearl, Money Galore from the Mitchley yard. Mia Destina coming back from a gelding, the 1. And Amiok from the Zichman Westhuizen yard. But no talk for the first-timers, so it should be between the 2 and the 3 Ds. I think you can bank the 2 in the buy pot, and I'm tipping it 2, 3, 6, and 1.
Okay, 2, the race runner with the experience gets the vote from Grand Paddock, but let's keep an eye on number 3, Zambezi Sunset, as Grant mentioned, now trading at 9-10. The place accumulator begins at 1,300 hours sharp. It's over 1,600 meters, race number 2, and this is a medal plate. And the betting is number 3, Prolific Star, at 9-2. Horse number 4, Garden Sun, is at 6-1. Number 6, Golden Grey, who's had the 2 runs in Gqeberha, finishing second in both, is trading at even money. And then we go all the way to the 2-year-old number 13, Tower of London. That's trading at 8-1. Yeah, I can see why they got this horse at even money, Grant, but I just want to pick your brain with one horse here, Garden Sun, because the one thing that I see is that 400 to finish time that just jumps off the page. You know, anything below 22 seconds anywhere in the country, that's a quick finish from number 4, Garden Sun, who one could say has had his fair share of chances, but his last run was arguably his best run to date.
Yeah, 100%. He's been running from very bad draws. Once again, got a tricky draw of 11, but it's on the grass this time in a long straight. So his better form has been on the poly, but there's been a lot of talk at Fairview for Garden Sun. I must be honest with you. I think Golden Grey's race to lose this, to be very honest. He's having his peak run, 3rd run here. Course and distance. He's got a draw. And Richard Fourie up. I think he'll be very, very hard to beat. He's actually my nap on the day and my best bet. But Garden Sun, a lot of talk on the ground. Prolific Stars, another one. Just didn't see it out last time out the 1900. Back in trip to the mile. That's going to suit. And then Fizzly Bubbly ran a decent race, but against weaker. So too Tower of London against a very weak field last time out. I'm very strong on Golden Grey. There's a bipod and place accumulator banker, and I'm tipping it 6, 3, 4, and 5.
6, 3, 4, and 5. So whilst Grant likes number 6, Golden Grey, if you're paying exactas and trifectas, the horses to include 3, 4, and 5. And then we're on to the big one, which is the pick 6 at 13.35. It's over 1,600 meters. A maiden plate for fillies and mares. What's the betting like? Number 1, Twilight Bay, is at 2-1. There is money here, Grant, for Candice Bass Robinson's runner, who is in town. Winter Gamble opened up 15-10, now 13-10. Then we have number 5, Fantasy Girl, at 5-1, and it's double figures, the balance. Well, you know, it's often the case, and we've seen this on many trainers coming down from the Western Cape with their horses to the Eastern Cape, that maiden form is usually good enough to see them win. Do you see the same here with number 2, Winter Gamble?
Yeah, 100%. The form is too strong for this field. It's an absolute boat race between the 1 and the 2, Winter Gamble and Twilight Bay. Twilight Bay's got the form back to the 1600, which I do think will suit Twilight Bay a little bit better. She did go to the front last time out and only got run out of it late. But Winter Gamble's Cape Town in-season form from a very good draw and a top jockey in Louis aboard, going to be very hard to beat. I expect this horse to start deep in the red. And I'm tipping it 2, 1, 5, and 9. Pick 6, you can have just the 1 and the 2.
1 and 2 for the pick 6. I think that will help reduce the spend here in leg number 1. But again, Grant sounding like number 2, Winter Gamble, will be hard to oppose on some of our form lines from the Western Cape, and he suspects that it'll even shorten further at the time of recording, 13-10. Well, I mentioned there is a sweetener to the race meeting. It's the jackpot. In fact, there's a jackpot carryover throughout the weekend. On Saturday, racing fans, a jackpot won at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. There's a carryover of 500,000 Rand, but it will all begin on Friday, where we got 100,000 Rand carried over to the jackpot. Estimated pool 500,000. You know, with racing fans that love their racing on a Friday from Kabeja, I think 500,000 is an underestimate low. Let's see if we can get past that on Friday. Merit rated 80 handicap, 1,600 meters the distance. Number 1 is trading at 8-1 now, Grant. That opened up at 20-1. Makache, 8-1. Some good outside betting support for Kelly Misley's runner. Then we got number 5, Walk on the Wild Side, at 28-10. Number 7, William the First, at 9-2. And then a horse that does bring some solid form into the race is number 12, and that is trading at 9-2, having run well last 2 races. Grant, you always have your ear on the ground when it comes to Kelly's horses. What can you tell us about the support for number 1?
Yeah, definitely stable money. He's definitely my value bet on the day, and I think he's a massive runner. His preparation has gone very well into this race. It's his 3rd run after a long break. It's peak run. Last time out, he ran 4 lengths off them in a pinnacle plate with some good horses behind him and finished extremely well from a very bad draw. He's got the 1 draw. 20-1 was ludicrous. 8-1 is more sensible. Very, very good value still. I think he'll take a power of beating. He's just got to reproduce that last run and that last finish, and he'll be hard to beat. Dinelli, Green Mandarin, horses that you have to take into consideration. Green Mandarin has run against a lot stronger in the Cape and done fairly well, especially over the trip. 10-1 also had quite a big odds. And then obviously the favourite, Walk on the Wild Side. She's got a bit to do from 11 draw, and the handicap has been quite heavy on her. I think she's been up 11 points for her last 2 wins. So she's got a bit of work to do. I think the winner will come from one of those 3 horses, and I'm tipping it 1, 5, 3, and 4, with number 1 being my value bet on the day, Makache.
1, 5, 3, and 4, and Grant Paddock usually spot on with these value selections. And here, if you missed the 20-1 or whatever price prior to that, well, 8-1 still looks very attractive about a horse that Grant feels will be hard to beat if he can repeat his last start, which was against Stronger, an average rating of 95. This average rating is a 79, and nice to hear that Grant mentioned the stable fancies the horse. Race number 5 over 1,900 meters is a merit rated 68 handicap. It's an E division class, where number 1, Mr. Fox, is at 28-10. Number 2, George Handel, is at 8-1. 3 is Home Reef at 9-2, and I'm just looking for the balance of the runners. Nothing else, Grant. There's lots of value to be had in this race, just judging by the betting market, and I suspect that in the exotics, you're going to have to play as wide as the budget will allow, as many horses as possible, Grant, to try and get yourselves through this leg of the exotics.
Yeah, 100%. This is the one you need to get through. Very, very difficult races. A lot of collateral form lines here. Home Reef and San Quentin have got 3 collateral form lines. San Quentin actually holds Home Reef quite well, and he's my first choice. Back on the grass, back over 2,000 meters, and at his course and distance. Mr. Fox, the favourite, on the other hand, drawn out at 14. He won a very good race last time out, but it was a very weak maiden on the poly. He's got to step it up with 62. 28-10, definitely the wrong price. Home Reef, as I said, he's got some form to find on San Quentin, but he's very honest and he'll be right there on top of them. And then a horse like Global Reef won a good race last time out, and I believe he has come on, so he's got to be looked at. Karoo Gold as well. Person really has to go as wide as possible here, D's, and very difficult. I see there's been money for a new first time of the Ziesman Oosthuizen yard, which I didn't have in my jackpot, and will probably have to add in George Handel, number 2. Person has to look at that as well with the claim of Nerva Nastilion. Very tricky race, D's. You've got to go as wide as possible, and I'm tipping it 13, 3, 5, and 1.
13, 3, 5, and 1. Grant, I just want to ask a question about the distance of 1,900 meters on the turf and the draw, because I know you got that long back straight. You can call it like 500 meters before you get into the turn. So, a horse like Dumasani, drawn 16, will have enough time to get over there?
Yeah, that's no problem. That's actually a lot longer. It's probably about 900, 800, 900 before you hit the bend. So the whole back straight, it's a very forgiving course. Dumasani, definitely, she ran a very good second last time out, but against a hell of a lot weaker than what she's facing here, and it's the boys as well. She'll have to step it up, but she's a back end of quartet kind of horse.
Okay, so draws over 1,900, 2,000 meters, as Grant mentioned. Even though you're poorly drawn, if you got a horse that can get over, you got enough time before you hit that first bend. Race number 6, a merit-rated 68 handicap. It's over 1,400 meters. The betting, number 3, Anchorman, is at 8-1. Number 4 is Winter Emeralds at 5-2. Then we got horse number 7, Lady Luck, at 8-1. And it's horse number 16, King Rahul, at 6-1. Grant, I took down the betting of a horse here. I don't know whether I'm way off the mark or not. This horse flashed lightning for the jackpot, just for the jackpot. I don't know if it's part of your play, but the way I saw that race last time out, I just penciled the horse in as possibly, one to keep an eye on. Any price?
Yeah, any price. These decent last run, beaten 4 lengths though. In a sprint, stepping up now in trip to the 1,400 meters. I'd like them to show some bit of form before we go crazy on them, to be very honest with you. It is a tricky race as it is, but I'm very strong on this horse, Winter Emeralds, from the Griffin for Riyadh. And drawn out at 13 is a bit of a question mark, but the way this horse won first time out was super impressive. He won very well, and he could have won by a lot further. I must say, though, 2 weeks ago, he was scratched for colic, so we have to have a look at that. Anchorman, probably his biggest danger. Globetronic doesn't know how to run a bad race. Lady Luck. Horses like King Rahul at the bottom of the weights with Future of Energy also. If you look past the favourite, who's a maiden winner and carrying 59.5 from a bad draw, you're probably going to have to go a couple here, D's. And I'm tipping at 4, 3, 13 and 16, and I've got quite a few horses in the jackpot.
Okay, loaded up there in race number 6, and then the jackpot will close in race number 7. It's the Lady Slipper, a listed race over 1,400 meters, the main event on the day. It's for a stake of 150,000, and the winner will bank 93,750 rand. And the betting will say it all here, Grant. Number 2, Borello, is at 6-1. Horse number 5, Royal City Girl, is at 6-1, and then we got a 1-5 shot, or 2-10. However you like your prices disseminated. Number 4, Golden Palm, is the odds-on shot, deep in the red. Well, I see Alan Creef is bringing down direct hit for the Alan Robertson instead of this filly, but she stays for the Golden Slipper, Golden Palm. And the fact is, after that introduction to racing, she's won in the Eastern Cape. She's went to Gauteng. She's given them a hiding there as well. One Fine Winters, a really nice horse from the stable of Sean Terry, will be taking on a direct hit on Saturday. So number 4, Golden Palm, against this type of field. How has she impressed you to date, Grant?
Yeah, she's very, very good. These top filly, SA fillies, SA nursery winner, and she won it very well as well, beating a decent horse. And I think that horse has come out and won too. So very, very smart filly. The 1400 will really suit her. She's probably going a mile plus when she turns 3. There's no doubt. Yeah, she's got this field at her nursery. Without a doubt, a banker chasing her home. Royal City Girl and Barola, those two should fight it out for second and third. And then Augusta Rosso will enjoy the step up to the 1400 meters. Fiery Countess and Silver City, they've got a bit of work to do. Silver City, unfortunately, not striding out in its last start. And Fiery Countess trying the trip for the first time. Might have to step it up a bit. But yeah, everything on Golden Palm here, D's. And I'm sure a lot of the Alan Creef boys will be taking the double Golden Palm onto direct hit. But yeah, very, very, very hard to beat. I'm tipping at 4, 5, 2, and 1.
Just your quick thoughts before we get to the lucky last. Will you be using direct hit on Saturday as a banker in that carryover jackpot?
These without a doubt. 1200 meters at Scottsville, she's going to be very, very good there. She's very light on her feet. That filly covers a lot of ground, and with a high cruising rate, she'll be very hard to beat. She's definitely going to be a banker for me that side. Hopefully all goes well with the travelling and she gets there in one piece, and that she'll be very, very hard to beat. She's very good. She's unbelievably good, in fact. And yeah, I'm hoping for Alan that he can have a feature race double for the weekend.
Yeah, the feature race double does come up in that fillies race as well. Or is it? Yeah, it is the South African filly sprint, isn't it? That he's got that horse, Fairy something, Knight or something.
Very, very nice running in the sprint race. Yeah, that's 100%.
Okay, race number 8, 1200 meters, merit-weighted 78 handicap. We close things off. Number 1 is Sylvonian 6-1, 2 Sound of the Sea at 7-1, 4 Coastal Path at 28-10, horse number 10, See You in a Bit at 8-1, 11 Wordsworth at 5-1, and that is it. Yep, that is it. How we close things off in race number 8, Grant?
D Sylvanian for me, been running against a lot stronger than this. Drawn at 13. I don't know if that's going to be the right side down the straight, to be honest with you, but his better form has been on Polly, but he's got a decent form at the moment, and he's got to be a big runner. This other horse, Coastal Path, another one better on the Polly, but holding solid form, doesn't know how to run a bad race. There's also Cliffy Miller's number 11, Wordsworth, 7 years old, but he's really got solid form, drawn on the right side of the course for me. Finished the race off well, the 1200 will suit. And then a little bit of value in number 5, Silvery Surfer, put a line through his last run, hates the Polly. Back over the Fairview, 1200 on grass. It's going to be a definite horse for the quartets at a lovely price. And then See You in a Bit, obviously could fill up quartet positions. And that's about it. These I'm tipping at 1, 4, 5, and 11 in the pick 6.
1, 4, 5, and 11, and of course direct hit in the Alan Robertson, Fairy Night in the Golden Horse Sprint for Alan Creef, and nice to have Gavin Smith in town as well. He's got instant worthy in the Alan Robertson, and of course he has got, I think it is Cruise Control in the Golden Horse Sprint. So they got their horses in the same races, the boys that are racing from the Eastern Cape. Let's hand over to you, Grant, for your suggested bet. And you are going for that carryover with the jackpot, which is jackpot 1, carryover 100,000.
Thank you very much, Steve. Best bet, race 2, number 6, Golden Grey. My value bet, race 4, number 1, Makachev. And my suggested bets, the jackpot 1 goes as follows. We open up with 1, 3, 4, and 5 by 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, and 13 by 2, 3, 4, 7, 13, and 16 by banker 4 for 168 Rand full unit.
Would you like to take a chance in one jackpot and possibly banker Makachev to get the cherry, to get the plum, to get everything?
Yeah, that would work. 2 bankers and 2 fields would probably be the aggressive route if you want to try it that way.
Thanks a lot, Grant. As always, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Dees, and good luck to those punters playing tomorrow. Goodbye.
Okay, Grant Paddock from the Eastern Cape in Gqeberha previewing Friday's show. We thank him for his time, for his efforts, and to you, the valued racing fan, on behalf of Gallop TV, myself, Dees Dine, and have a blast, find all the winners. Hopefully it turns out to be a lovely day if you are playing this Friday, and until we meet again, you take care.